Hello again, YouTube. This is going to be Jund League Lucky number 13. And with this league, I am not playing Seasoned Pyromancer because I've had pretty underwhelming experiences with it in the most recent few leagues. But what I have been trying out and have had success with so far is Cling to Dust. So as far as the difference between this deck and the deck I played in Jund League number 12, I have removed the 3 Seasoned Pyromancers, I have reintroduced the Scavenging Oozes, and I have reintroduced Inquisition of Kozilek, and I have kept the idea, I have clung to the idea of Cling to Dust. So I'm going to be trying out 2 of those. Still got the singletons, 1 Dark Confidant, 1 Terminate, 1 Abrupt Decay, 1 Maelstrom Pulse as the sort of diverse catch-alls, and other than that, it's a pretty stock Jund list, playing the 4 Goyf, 4 Bloodbraid, pretty standard 7 Planeswalkers, 6 1-mana hand disruption spells, 6 1-mana removal spells, and just backed by the Cling to Dust, which again is experimental, but has been promising so far. I am keeping the Clothis in the sideboard. I played this for the first time in League number 12, and I was very impressed with it. It came in pretty clutch, draining a total of 8 life and being a hard-to-deal-with permanent versus a Temur Reclamation player. And they were almost about to stabilize, except Clothis was eating their potential Mystic Sanctuary targets, it was eating their Uros, and it was just doing a whole lot of work on top of being an indestructible clock. So that was pretty nice. Still playing the 2 Pillages, and then I'm also again playing Alpine Moon for a few reasons. Pretty good at shutting off Field of the Dead in addition to turning off Tron, and additionally we don't really need the things like Storm matchups to be better. Because it's already a pretty decent matchup, so the alternative to Alpine Moon, which would probably be Damping Sphere, isn't as relevant, and it actually is detrimental to us in some cases because it makes our Cascade spells off of Bloodbraid cost 1 mana. So yeah, that's why I've chosen Alpine Moon over Damping Sphere. Still playing 3 Nile Spellbomb. I know I've talked in the past about shaving one of these, but I don't really have anything better to replace it with yet, so I'm just going to keep it for now. And this is the first time I'm trying this configuration. This is pretty close to what I would do in a large paper event, with the exception of the 2 Cling to Dusts. That's really the only change right now, and I'm just going to see how they do in a what is otherwise a pretty stock Jund shell. Let's take a look at the current metagame. It's the same as 4 hours ago, I promise. Jund League 12, if you remember. So we've still got Blitz at the very top, followed by the various Uro piles. Followed by E-Tron, then Blue-White Control / Stoneblade. Gruul has been a consistent number 5 contender for the past what feels like 2 weeks now. Followed by Burn. Lurrus Aggro rising in the ranks. Tron, a pretty solid number 8. We've even got Infect creeping in the top 12 now, so if we get that, we'll have a good time. Jund actually creeped up a spot, which has been uncharacteristic of it, but our hero may be on the rise again, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how we do, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Let's just see how we do. Enough blabbing my mouth. Let's just jump right into it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully not experiencing the clunkiness that I've been feeling in the past few leagues. And I think a large portion of that clunkiness has been due to Seasoned Pyromancer. If you haven't seen the most recent video, Jund League 12, I go into that. The reason why I don't particularly like the Seasoned Pyromancer is because while it may be individually powerful, it tends to not do one job particularly well. What I mean by that, I'll explain this as my dog is done drinking water. He's a thirsty boy. Like, a lot of the cards in the deck are kind of the best at what they do. Like, Renin 6 is really good at killing a bunch of things and getting card advantage. Tarmogoyf is the biggest generic beater you can get for 2 mana. There goes the dog drinking again. Liliana is great at getting card advantage and even killing a thing. Like, a lot of the cards we play are ultra powerful and they do their job super well. Seasoned Pyromancer, on the other hand, its primary purpose is to buy time, and I don't think buying time is really the thing that I want to be doing. So I think it just leads to clunky draws, and I'm just not going to play it. The past 3 leagues I've done have contained Seasoned Pyromancer, and they've culminated to a record of 7 wins, 8 losses, and my win rate has been above 60% since before the era of me playing Seasoned Pyromancer. So I'm just going to take it back out and then see if the luck flips. But I mean, if the luck flips, that might just be indicative of the Seasoned Pyromancer being my problem. Yeah, dog is a thirsty boy. And now he's a hungry boy. Snapcaster of Secrets asks, would that logic extend to something like Lingering Souls elsewhere too? I think Lingering Souls is a slightly different case. The reason I say that, let me just do this first so I don't mess it up. The reason I say that is because Lingering Souls solves multiple problems. It has sort of a Bloodbraid effect, where if the first half of it gets countered, you have the second half. And it also provides discard value. Like, sure, Seasoned Pyromancer does that too, but Seasoned Pyromancer costs 5 to get that extra value, whereas Lingering Souls costs 2. Additionally, the mana requirements on Lingering Souls aren't as steep. What's up, James? We are in game 1 of match 1, so you got here in time. Uro. Actually, we don't know about this breeding pool anymore. Yeah. And also, Snapcaster Secrets, another reason why I like Lingering Souls over something like Seasoned Pyromancer is because the creatures you produce are actually evasive. So it actually has use as a clock. Whereas like the Seasoned Pyromancer tokens are just kind of stuck on the ground. Don't think I want to have them discard a card here. I'll just untap. That just means they'll get to bring their Uro in faster. Liliana's a half decent one. I think I should just use this turn to Bloodbraid though. Although we know that they've got a Cryptic, and Bloodbraid is better spent on a turn where they've got mana up. So I think this is actually a proper time for Liliana. If this resolves, I can plus discarding the Verdant, then I can get it back and play it. So now fetch land from the opponent means that they can get Uro into play for pretty much free. But now I've got Liliana of the Veil in play to deal with it. Doggo ate all of his snackos. That's a good pupper. They're missing green for the Uro and the card. They can Field of Ruin into 3 mana sources, but they'd need another. It's not super unlikely, but maybe they're worried about just playing it into an Edict. Ooh, Gesundheit. So it looks like they just want to hold up a Cryptic. They may want to bounce Wrenn and 6 end of turn since it's 1 shy of ultimate. To note, I accidentally forgot to, I realize this now, I accidentally forgot to switch back into 2 Overgrown Tombs in 1 Blood Crypt. I'm currently playing 2 Blood Crypts, so I'll just have to make sure to accommodate for that. Alright, well, just like I mentioned, this is the turn they've got Cryptic available, so this is probably the turn I want to cast the Bloodbraid. Do this first, then we can buy something back. There goes a Sprawl. And then I'll leave up Stomping Ground so I can have Bolt available, and also be able to activate a Scavenging Ooze if that's what I hit. I don't have another Overgrown Tomb to get because my deck building was wrong. Bounce draw, yep. So I guess they're worried about the Edict versus the Uro. I assume they're casting Uro. That can get a forest. They're just not doing it. Alright, so I don't know about that card. I guess they're just worried about the Liliana, so they may be holding up a counter for it. I could just go for the ultimate. Ooh. So now maybe I can bait with the Liliana. They may cast like a Cryptic or something. I can then return a Verdant and cast Scavenging Ooze to eat their Uro. The issue is if I play Liliana, they may counter bounce. So I might just have to commit to not ultimating this turn. Because I think I definitely have to do this before beforehand. Alright, so again, this does not get a green source anymore. It can get a Blood Crypt or my other swamp. They're playing Field of Ruins. I should probably get the Blood Crypt with it going to 10. So if I Liliana, I can fetch shock Blood Crypt, still have the green up. I guess let's attack first. I mean, we're winning the resource game versus the Temur deck, so that feels pretty good. I guess we don't actually know that they're Temur yet. We've only seen blue and green cards. So I expect this to get countered. I don't know with what. I could have played the land to play around Mana Leak, so that may have been a mistake. They know we've got a land, so... I mean, if this is a Cryptic, I'm kind of happy about it, because then the Ooze is just going to snipe the Uro anyway. And this is in my main phase, so I will get to use this green to cast the ooze. I think I should get second red here. I've got a lot of red spells in my hand. Liliana still on the stack. Would Temur play 2+ Fields of the Dead? I mean Field of Ruin or Field of the Dead? Alright, so we've successfully baited them. Field of Ruin. I think they play as many as 3 sometimes. 2 might be more standard. I don't know, to be honest. They definitely play a Field of the Dead too. Sometimes multiple of those. So they can't get Mystic Sanctuary right now, so fetching now should be safe. They know about a Wrenn and 6 in the hand. Ready to draw the swamp? I have to say it or it'll happen. Alright, I guess I should lead with an attack, right? We don't have any more creatures in either yard to eat. But the burn in the hand means that we're going to have lethal next turn that they don't know about. Surprise lethal is always the best lethal. It's the hardest kind to play around, right? Oh, look, it's Ozzy. Ooze. Yes, I'm playing Ooze. Ooze is good. Alright, so they do not have the requisite snow permanence. I could also... These fatal pushes don't really have much better targets. So if I push this now, I can just get the damage in for sure. So my last fetchable is Swamp, because Stomping Ground is right here. I can Wrenn and 6, get back the Stomping Ground. I can also eat the Ice Fang now, which would mean they go to 6. It's probably worth it. And then, playing Wrenn and 6 actually puts down green mana. I think I'll just pass. You get a question that says, I put Ooze back in. Why did I take it out earlier? I mean, you missed the explanation. The explanation was there just wasn't really room for it. We were playing Seasoned Pyromancer instead, which is a double red card. And then we have a double black card in Liliana. We have a double red card in Seasoned Pyromancer, and then Ooze naturally wants lots and lots of green sources. So the mana just got really, really hard trying to play all 3. And additionally, when we play more creatures, I had to take some creatures out because I wasn't wanting to take out interactive spells to make room for more creatures. So bolting upstairs means either one of our creatures is going to be lethal. They can start Cryptic to tap draw and act as a sort of fog. But the onus is on them. That's good. I mean, let's just attack. If they tap out for something ridiculous, I've got lethal just with spells in hand. Tap draw. And I think since this is the more powerful spell, I'll just respond with it. Let me not tap out of red, that'd be bad. There. Because like they could draw Force of Negation or something. This also makes blue. They could remand something still. And sure enough, there's the remand. So we'll say okay to that. They still have this on the stack. I could just do it again, but that puts down green. I think I'll let this resolve. I'll go to my second main. I'll play Ren and 6 and get back Stomping Ground, then I'll shock it in. They might have Force, but if they do, I'm still just really ahead. So they're going to need an Uro to get back into this. We already taken care of one of them. If they need to fetch to have the mana to get to the Uro, then there may be a window to eat it. Sure. None of these do much. Alright, they just scoop. Yeah, I guess they were looking for an Uro to bin there. Alright, so Temur. Klothys going to be good. Spellbomb's going to be good. Ashiok's going to be good. Brutality is going to be better than Inquisitions. Alright, so let's take out 2 Inquisitions at least. Let's take out Lightning Bolts. Maybe leaving 1. We saw that they were playing Ice Fang, so I don't want to take out all of my instant speed stuff. I think on the draw it's safe to cut a Liliana. I'm assuming they're playing Temur, which means that Kolaghan's Command may not have a whole lot of creatures to buy back because they might not be doing a whole lot of killing creatures, but it's still just a solid 2-for-1 most of the time. Maybe I want to cut one or both of my 2 mana 1-for-1s. I need to cut 3 from here. Very possible that Lightning Bolt is just bad altogether. I think I'm going to keep the Decay. I'll actually have the Terminate. And 1 more. Since this is a value-oriented matchup, I think I'm going to just cut a Tarmogoyf. Against Sultai, I think I might cut all of the Tarmogoyfs. But since they're more likely than not the red variant, Tarmogoyf is going to be pretty hard to kill, as is. Yusa thinks everything will be okie day, Snapcaster. Alright, so this has got to mean one of 2 things. Remand or Growth Spiral. I mean, if it's Growth Spiral, I don't think I want to play Afraid. Like, the worst thing that they could do is remand whatever I do here. Next turn, I can Thoughtseize and do something else. I'm not afraid to get remanded. Gust. Yeah, we'll top it. It's probably good enough. Should have kept the 7. The one with 0 lands, right? We're on this. Are we talking about the same hand? That's your honest opinion? I want to know what your joking opinion is. Alright, so they're 3 cards off in the yard. I mean, Thoughtseizing them kind of contributes towards their Uro plan. But I really want to cast this Thoughtseize now because next turn I think I'm just Bloodbraiding. Tarmogoyf's going to be kind of tiny if they escape their Uro. Like, if this takes a Factor Fiction or something like that, I'll be pretty happy. Just infinite Veil of Summers. I mean, Renin 6 is going to deal pretty effectively with the Ice Fangs, but a single more snow permanent means that these things might be brutal. I mean, I'm just going to take the Ice Fang because it's a redraw. Like, I can play around the Veil of Summers pretty easily. Joking opinion, mold of 4. Even if even if I have a keepable 6, I should just go to 4, right? Skip right over 5, go to 4. So they're missing a green for Uro. Even if they hit a fetch land here, Liliana's good, but that helps their Uro plan and also lets them cycle a Veil of Summer. So I think this is a Bloodbraid turn. I think I'll get Forest. I guess I should technically wait on this because they may be flashing in a Ice Fang Quaddle. It won't have Death Touch though. I'm not getting any additional value by hitting another Renin 6, so I think it's okay to just wait. There's a chance that I ping something this turn. No, I won't cast that. Alright, here's my 3-2. So I'm assuming here comes Ice Fang. They could charge a Blast Zone instead. So Liliana can deal with the first cast of Uro. I can double spell next turn, so that'll be good. Alright, Castle is not what they wanted to see. Yeah, this is going at Renin 6. Renin 6 is just going to take down the Ice Fang next turn. Taking down Ice Fang means that if they draw a green source, they can escape Uro. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. Ooh, Ashiok. Okay, so I'm gonna have to Ashiok target myself. That way they don't counter the activation. It'll suck if they've got if they've drawn a counter spell. What's the record now? We're just up a game. Still match 1. Stick, please. Stick, please. Stick. I like sticks. Stick? Dang. Got the cryptic. Counter draw. Yeah. I mean, they're still not at Uro. This can say bye to that. What meta shifts would it take for me to main board Master the Hunt? Jund would have to be wildly popular, and you'd have to sprinkle some burn in there. So they may end up just cycling a Veil of Summer at this point. So I expect this glyph to shrink, assuming they've hit a green. You wanted me to bait with glyph? I mean, I don't think they counter the glyph. They still missed though? Geez, that's good for me. Ooh, hello. We know there's a Maelstrom Pulse on the bottom. Have we shuffled since then? I think we have. I think I'm just going to play Bloodbraid and Jam. Hopefully they don't have a Cryptic to fog me again. Let's leave up maximum green, just in case we hit it. Hit the Scavenging Ooze is what I'm referring to. I won't cast that one. These 4-mana 3/2s with haste are putting it work at least. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, to bring in Huntmaster of the Fells in the main, you would have to have a lot of Jund and some aggro mixed in. I've been getting pretty lucky that the opponent has been missing all these land drops. Charging Blast Zone. I would think they'd want to scry to get the Uro back, although I suppose if they go up to 6, they're still just dead to the onboard. Another basic island? Jeez. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, right? I said I'm just going to play around the Veil of Summers. Like, they may eventually stop a Liliana Edict, but that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'll play the Swamp. I'll activate Raging Ravine. Well, I'm going to go to combat. If they Cryptic to Fog, after the Cryptic resolves, I'll just activate the Ravine. I'll want to activate it off of a Swamp, though, so I have the option of casting my other Renin 6. Yeah, James. Huntmaster is definitely got its metas where it's just the best card in the sideboard. Tap draw, you say? Activate Ravine, I say. They could have Ice Fang. They scoop, sweet. So 2-0 Temur Rec. My day's been good, James. Thanks for asking. It was pretty low energy. Got home from work, recorded a video, took a break, watched some Netflix, recording another video. Not much to complain about. Didn't see any Cling to Dust to that match. It's one of the matchups where it'd be good, but luckily I didn't need it. I think the first game was just played pretty well, and then the second game we just got lucky, basically. I mean, I think we could have fought a fair fight with the resources we had game 2, but the opponent just also got unlucky, so fortunate for us. I did in fact cuddle with the doggo too. He's a good cuddler. Yeah, Snapcaster. Everything that I stream now is being recorded for YouTube. I've got, not including this video, I've got 12 Jund Leagues uploaded, 13 if you count a Jund Shadow League. I didn't put the Jund Shadow League in the same folder as all the other Jund Leagues. Lindsay Walker. Alright, well, we've got our Klings. So, Stoneblade? Could be Blue-White Control. I don't know that Stoneblade actually plays the Prairie Stream. Got another subscription on the YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Were you able to find it? The channel name is just my name. Or if you just like look up Jund League, you'll probably find it that way too. Oh, you searched the Junderdome and it popped up. That works too. So it looks like we're in for a grind fest. Oh, it's Bant? Oh, this has got to be Soulherder, right? Soulherder would make a lot of sense. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and cycle one of the Cling to Dusts now. I'll get Blood Crypt so I can hold up a Lightning Bolt next turn. Okay. Ooh, that was a good one. We got my next black mana rolled up. I should probably get Overgrown Tomb anyway. So if I really want to, I can combine a Ren and 6 and the Lightning Bolt to kill the Wall of Omens without having to use a Liliana minus on it. Solid brand, yeah. I think it's a pretty clever name for a Jund-centric channel. I actually haven't been tagging all of my uploaded videos with Junderdome. I've been tagging it with a lot of stuff, but Junderdome hasn't been one of them. Seems like a mistake. I should probably start doing that. Is this the Herder of Souls? The Soul Herder? Bugler. I guess that's another thing to flicker with the Soulherder. Also helps find Soulherder. A Soulherder. So I've already got a fetch land in the yard to get value with the Ren and 6. Would love to get the Liliana down, but it just gets attacked. I could start plussing. It'll get attacked for 2. I can bolt something, and then I'll have an Edict left over afterwards. Edict probably gets the wall at some point. But the turn where I want to Edict something bigger, I can use the bolt plus the wall. Use the bolt plus the Ren and 6 to kill the wall. But this deputy might be taking one of the planeswalkers, which is dangerous. And then I might want the bolt for the deputy. I mean, Kolaghan's Command isn't doing a whole lot. I can't cast Bloodbraid Elf. Cling to Dust doesn't do much either. I think the best play is just Liliana, because it uses the most mana. Then I guess I'll just plus it. So now I'll still have the bolt for the deputy. I discard a Gaddock Teague. Their deck's pretty interesting so far. I can't imagine it's a horrible matchup. I don't think that it would be a good one though. A lot of their stuff is directly a 2-for-1. Liliana here, yeah, makes sense. No play. Oh, they could be playing Collected Company. I mean, I think I'll just start with an Edict. See if that takes me anywhere. I expect the wall to die. Yeah. And then I can play a Tarmogoyf, leaving up red, in case this gets like Spell Queller or something. This could just be Bant Company, although maybe not because they wouldn't play Gaddock Teague. Sure. Now at 2 snow permanents. I can almost guarantee this is Soulherder. Sure. I don't plan on working towards ultimate with this Ren and 6. I'm going to pretty liberally just use the minus to help kill stuff, probably. Probably starting with this Ice Fang. Thassa. Yeah, it's definitely Soulherder. So at the beginning of your end step, exile up to one other target creature. So it does target. So I guess I'll wait until they target, and then I'll lightning bolt whatever they target. Hopefully they target Militia Bugler, because I've got the Ren and 6 to kill the Ice Fang. I mean, I think it's more attractive to blink the Bugler. It's on average going to be better than whatever card Ice Fang draws. They're attacking with the Militia Bugler? That doesn't make much sense to me. Unless they have a path and they're just waiting till end of attacks. Say, okay, yes. Alright, and again, I want to hold the bolt to hit whatever they target with the Stasa. Please target Bugler. Hell yeah. Maximum value. Because now Red and 6 can take care of the Ice Fang that's in play. What's the other mode on this? You can pay 4 to tap a creature. Bolt's a really, really good draw. It's another way to interact with the Thassa. I think I'm going to get a basic before attacking, because I would really like to leave up both black and red, and if I cascade into a Scavenging Ooze, I'm going to want to have lots of green. So leaving up Overgrown Tomb and Stomping Ground gives me the best options. Another Tarmogoyf ain't too shabby. It's pretty thick. So yeah, letting the opponent hit our Ren and 6 is paying off big time. Because they have nothing right now. Wall? Yeah, that's something they can blink. And like actually have stick around. I think I'm going to want to hold the Cling for something like an Eternal Witness. Because I imagine they've got a few of those in here with all of their blinking effects. To note, blocking the Bloodbraid with the wall isn't exactly free, because the Ren and 6 can finish it off. Yeah, so let's go to attacks. They could like pay 4 to tap a creature. Is this a Restoration Angel? If it's Restoration Angel, we can combine Kolaghan's Command and Lightning Bolt to kill it. Not exactly the use of the removal that I would want, though. Sure. Please be boltable. Please be boltable. Just getting an Ice Fang. Yeah. I think in response to this trigger is when I want to do this. Make sure Ice Fang can't block and kill something. And if they don't just block, we bolt them and kill them. So they have to block. Alright, and then Renin 6 can finish off the wall so we can keep the bolt in our hand for future shenanigans. Like this deputy that we know about. Play another attacker. Go. I mean, if they can deploy a threat and make sure that they can tap something, like we're not out of it yet, but I definitely feel comfortable. And they're playing Aether Vial too. Wow. This deck seems like a ton of fun to play. They're playing Eldamri's Call and a handful of fetches, so I guess I'll board in the Ashiok. Oh, this makes me skip my combat, right? I skip my next combat phase. That's just like a cool thing to blink with Thassa's Oracle. I don't think it stacks though, right? Do I skip 2 combats? Like taking extra turns? Don't actually know. Ooh, Ooze is good. I mean, between 2 activations of Renin 6 and a Lightning Bolt, I can get them dead without even attacking. So I've got my Overgrown Tomb, I've got my Stomping Ground, I've got my Forest, so I don't have any more fetchable green. I do not have a combat step. It says I still have 1 more combat step left to skip, so I guess it does stack. That's okay though. Like, it's good, but it's not the end. I guess they can deputy my Renin 6. I mean, this game definitely got interesting. Maybe next turn I have to combo kill it with the Renin 6 and the Lightning Bolt. Here comes Deputy. Is this going to take the Ren? It's going to take the Ooze, okay. Maybe they're going to try to get the Eternal Witness in now. I think in response to this trigger, I have 6 mana, so I can cling twice, and then maybe I find the Fatal Push. Let me get the Path to Exile. I do have Revolt. And there's the Fatal Push immediately. Ephemerate it. Jeez. Yeah. It's been ephemerated. So now we're skipping 2 more combats. Yeah, I mean, remember, we don't have a combat step because of this thing. Whew. So, Bant stuff. Plague Engineer is going to get to kill their Ice Fangs pretty well. Brutality can function to kill something and or take something like an Ephemerate, Path to Exile, and the like. Clothis is a way to kill them through a few soft locks. And they're playing Eldamri's Call and the like, so I think Ashiok's also going to be good. I would bet that they're playing some number of Eternal Witnesses, so maybe Spell Bombs become good. I think Kolaghan's Command is probably the weakest removal spell. They're not most of their removal is stuff like Path, so we're not really going to be buying anything back. Yeah, I think Clothis does look very good, Snapcaster. I expect to be in a top deck war at some point. And Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes are really bad to draw in those scenarios. I didn't actually see anything that Inquisition can't take, did I? I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be stuff, though. They're probably not playing Company because they're playing mainboard Gaddock Teague. I mean, I guess it's something to search for. I mean, I think between the two Klings and the two Oozes, I can leave out the Spell Bombs. And then since it is such a value town matchup, I think here I want to cut Goyfs, and I think I want to cut a Terminate. Like, I can leave in one Goyf. I don't think that having a beater is going to be the one way I win this game. I think I need to just amass more resources. So I think this is going to be acceptable. I could see wanting to play more Inquisitions. Maybe even a Kolaghan's Command. But yeah, the Renin 6 that I had was pretty insane. How am I doing on time? I haven't even checked. We're actually ahead. Not exciting, but a keep. Vial. Spell? Hey, that's a spell. Pretty good one, too. Alright, so let's hopefully take their only 2 mana play. I guess I can. Kind of funny that Clothis is like almost never going to be a creature, so their Path to Exile shouldn't touch it. Ooh, Renin 6 was a really good draw. Like, I could Scavenging Ooze here to get a clock down, but it is a resource game. I think I prefer the Renin 6. Also, Renin 6 has demonstrated itself to be very strong killing all their X1s. Granted, they've got Ephemerate, but I may be able to fizzle an Ephemerate by pinging something, and then when they try to save it, I can bolt it. I was going to say, why'd they get a basic here, not just a shock land? But I guess Prismatic Vista can only get basics. I mean, I'm gonna jam a Clothis here. I'm aware that this is the last time that Blackleaf Cliffs comes in painlessly. But I also would like to get the card off of Renin 6. Cool, it's stuck. Our devotion is 4. We can start looping the peatland pretty soon. I think I want to get my mana established first. Like, it might be the 5th land I play, so I can have three left after cracking it. Non-zero chance that a run in 6 emblem comes up. I guess here comes Thassa. They don't have much. They don't have much better to do. Yep. So at their end step, they can blink something up to a thing. I think I want the Wall of Blossoms to eat with Scavenging Ooze, so I can just take care of my own Thoughtseize here. Sure. Nothing to violin at 3 is good. I'm assuming they're just going to keep it at 3. Alright, I'm just like never going to put this bolt down for as long as they've got ephemerate value. Pretty sure I'm okay just untapping here. I could make mana with the Clothless this turn as a way to get another Grizzly Bear down. I think I do. Not gonna loop this yet because I don't want to put my mana down. Drawn pretty poorly, all things considered. Maybe they violin a 3. If they violin a 3 and have the ephemerate to defend, I'm kind of nervous. Don't think I should play scared, though. I've only got one basic left in the deck, and I know about a Path to Exile. We're actually one off of Devotion. Alright, now we're a few off of Devotion. Got us something to violin. You could just empty violin to scare me. You don't actually have to put anything in. Path this one too, huh? I guess I really don't want them to get one of their things back. Path especially. Is something like an Eternal Witness even that big of a deal here? It probably is. I should just make sure their witnesses aren't insane. Like, if they witness back a Vista, that's fine. And I've got all my basics now. I could have gotten a shock land this turn to have one extra land in play, so that's probably a mistake. Vial up to 4? Jeez. Alright, well, I've got my win con. It's 5 lightning bolts. Venser, they're just going to bounce my Renin 6? Brutal. Yeah. And if I try to bolt it, they'll ephemerate. I guess I'll let them target it first. Then I'll bolt it. They're gonna ephemerate it. I mean, I'm okay recasting that. So this trigger is going to be countered. I'd love to draw a way to deal with this fencer. Just another land ain't going to do it. So if I sack Peatland, I'll have 5 mana left over. That is enough to do everything. Removal? Bob's good too. So I mean they're gonna get to bounce 2 things this turn and then 1 more thing every other turn. My draws have been not great. Clearly. I mean, I had the option all the way on turn 1 to take this Thassa. This Venser is just going to be too good. If I'm them, I almost like blinking the Venser more. I'm going to try to play a little quicker just because like, we're very likely to go to a long game 3. I don't want to be frazzled by a low timer. Well, we caught up on time. I think I'm going to block this. I really don't want them continuously blinking it. Like having a Bob would be nice. But I think this is kind of scarier. Especially when they got the Thassa Deep Dwelling. Like I've got the red and 6 to deal with the Ice Fang. I would really enjoy a good card off the top. Let's hit a Bloodbraid. Liliana's fine too. I think I should use the Liliana to kill the Ice Fang, because if they've got another Ephemerate, their Ice Fang will still die. As opposed to if I ping it with the Ren and 6, they can just flicker it. Hopefully they don't violin something at 4. They were hellbent when they put this up to 4, so it's not like they did this consciously. Alright, it worked. Ooh, someone followed. Sloppy Joe, what's up? Alright, and then we Clothis. What do the fetches get? I still have an Overgrown Tomb in there. And also I have a I guess I don't have Basic Mountain. Another Blood Crypt, huh? My hand's not too great, not gonna lie. I've seen better hands. Alright, I think I'm losing this. I mean, I had a pretty good opener. It had 4 lands in it, but we've drawn mostly lands after that. Our first draw of the game was Clothis, and that was pretty strong. Hasn't gone super well since then. What's up, Sloppy Joe? Thanks for the compliment. Venser again? Yeesh. I've got 6 cards in hand. Can't lose. I gotta imagine Liliana's dying. The Bugleugler. Oh, they do play Soulherder. We drew another land. Why? Another land. Jeez. A little on the flooded side. A lot of triggers. We drew another land. I'm definitely revealing my hand if we lose. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see if they've got any cool sideboard technology. No, nothing extra special. They have us exactly dead. It's a spirit. I'm just looking at creature types now. For plague engineer reasons. I'm pretty sure we're just exactly dead here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That was a lot of lands. I'm just gonna resubmit, really. Maybe I want to terminate. Just as another way to interact with something that they're targeting. That game was pretty weird. Like, we were getting lands back with Ren and 6, but we were also drawing lands. His hand's not great. It's missing a threat and or a planeswalker. Bloodbraid? I'm gonna push this while they can't ephemerate. Set the stop just in time. Gonna need to stop drawing lands at some point, though. This Terminate was gonna be a Tarmogoyf, funny enough. That would have been our clock. There we go. Gonna keep the fetches to enable a revolt at some point, I think. Would love it if this hit just like another creature or a planeswalker. Like Ashiok or Liliana would be insane here. Ooze is fine too, just another threat. Luckily, the opponents had a pretty slow start. I don't know what could be in their hand considering they've got 7 cards. Alright, Ephemerate could be pretty dirty here. I'm gonna have to be careful. Ooh, Liliana's good. That means I can kill it even through the Ephemerate. I'll attack first, in case the card under their Watcher is the Path to Exile, and they want to Path to Exile my thing after it leaves. I mean, they're gonna have to kill me in 4 minutes. I'm likely to want to discard this Verdant Catacomb, so I think I'll leave this uncracked to have something to enable Revolt. Ooh, another Bloodbraid was quite good. Plus first. No Baloth, right? Okay. Cling? That's fine. I'll target not a creature, so I get to draw a card. Bolt's good. I mean, they're under some stress here. Ice Fang. And they can Ephemerate that. Unless they have double Ephemerate, this is gonna die. Do I just trade with it? I think I'm just gonna let it trade. Like if they go to Ephemerate it proactively, I can bolt it in response. Yeah, just over 3 minutes to kill me. And survive. This has been a really interesting match. This is the kind of stuff that I like. There's Thassa. Okay, well that doesn't actually have anything to blink. Got a lot of removal. Ooze is a good one. Let's attack first. I could activate the Ravine. If they flash in Ice Fang, they'll be going to 1 and they're forced to block something. This takes down Revolt, but I think it may be worth it. So at the beginning of combat, I guess I'll animate the Ravine now. Gust the Ravine. I'll say okay and bottom it. Could have plus the Liliana, but I think everything in my hand is going to be good. Like, I've already got the removal spell on board, loaded up. Okay. I'll let all this stuff resolve. Then I'll edict it. Which enables revolt if it comes up. Then I guess I'll attack. Tap a creature. Yep. You know, just leave up removal and terminate. Removal in terminate and probably the fatal push because bolt can go to face. Liliana's a good draw too, because this means if they have the ephemerate, they can't actually lose a target. So they can spend all of their mana to tap my creatures. Okay. So I think this Clothis is going to end up being quite good. This has been a really interesting match. We did it. Sick. 2-0. Yeah. There's a chance this hand is absurd. Watch it be Infect. Infect, one time. Don't think Infect could beat this hand. They even mulligans? Sick. I don't want to see Tron with this hand. Lantern control. Wow. Alright, let's take Inquisition. Make sure we get our Ren and 6 down. Alright, time to play quickly because this is going to go quickly. Or the clock is going to go quickly. Alright, my library, your library. Ooh, Rip Decay on top, that's good. They know about the Verdant, so I'll play that one. Liliana on top, that's also a good one. I did in fact have a text message. Thank you for reminding me. Alright, so Codex Shredder gone. Glimmer Void was a new one. Swamp I knew about. So I know their hand. I get a Liliana? Okay, I didn't think so. Bob on top's a good one. Sure. Inquisition's fine. I guess they take a bolt. Push doesn't do anything. Bob is a card I'm very happy to draw. Don't think they're going to sack a Lantern. Bolt, yeah. Board's a little sloppy currently. All right. Stirrings is dangerous. They're at a minimum getting Welding Jar. Pithing Needle, huh? That'll take care of the Wren. I guess I don't know their hand. Let's clear at least one window. So it did name Wren in 6. Surprise, surprise. Let me try to tidy up a little bit. Alright, and I'll just play Bob. It's just another thing that attacks, really. I mean, they are under the pressure to find something. Let's make this more symmetrical. You gain a life, yep. The fair can at some point get a bridge. So it costs 4 and tap it, so effectively 5. Ooh, that's rude. Don't want to draw Black Cleave Cliffs. Well, I guess I'm drawing Black Cleave Cliffs. Having to readjust this window every time is kind of annoying. Ooh, Kolaghan's Command's a good one. I doubt they let me have it, but I can Cling to Dust something in response to try to draw it. So if they mill me, I'm definitely just going to try to draw this thing. You gain a life. Draw a Ghost Quarter. I mean, if they Ghost Quarter me, I'll just decline to search. Although this is the turn where they get to activate their Inventor's Fair. I mean, they may have to pop their Lantern to make sure we don't get Kolaghan's Command. Pretty sure they know about this Cling, which is what makes it awkward. Gonna hit Inventor's Fair here because they could be playing Academy Ruins. So like when I was planning on playing Cling to Dust, I didn't expect this interaction to come up. This Kolaghan's Command should be pretty hard for them to beat in an ideal world. We're in upkeep. Flashback their Cling. Sure. You'll draw a Triome. Their bridge is even on top. Alright, I got the Kolaghan's Command. And I'll mill a Terminate. That's good. Draw Bloodbraid. Wow, this has been good. So the bridge is on top. Let's just jam Bloodbraid now, I think. Leave up Stomping Grounds for either Lightning Bolts or Scavenging Ooze activation. I even hit a Decay. That's sick. Now let's get rid of Pithing Needle. Yeah, this matchup seems pretty good. I've even got good sideboard tools. Clothis, Ashiok, Pillage destroys artifacts. Nihil Spellbomb could even have some utility. Collective Brutality seems like one of my weaker options. Definitely think I want all of these. Ooze can be good. Bob is great. Renin 6 is great. Terminate's bad. Fatal Push is bad. Possible I just don't want the Spell Bombs. Like, they don't have a whole lot of graveyard stuff. This would have me needing to cut 2. I think I'm definitely the beatdown deck, so I don't think I should be cutting many Tarmogoyfs. Maybe it's like I cut a Bolt and something else. My entire deck seems pretty strong versus them. In the top deck war, the Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes seem quite bad, so maybe I just like cut one of those. But I think it's probably pretty important to have one early. Let's give this a go. But yeah, Clothis is going to be hard for them to beat. Ashiok is going to be hard for them to beat. Liliana is going to be hard. This hand is excellent. Wow, this hand is some kind of nuts, huh? The card that it's asking in chat, what's making our top cards revealed? The opponent had a card called Lantern of Insight. Next time they play it, I'll hover over it. Yeah. So, in case you're not familiar with the opponent's deck, it's colloquially called Lantern Control after Lantern of Insight. Ooh, this is going to take probably Clothis or Renin 6. So basically their plan is to have both players' top cards revealed, and they play things like the artifacts that we saw called Codex Shredder, which says target player mills the top card of their library. So basically you stop the opponent from drawing anything good, and you've got other lock pieces in play like Ensnaring Bridge, which says if you have creatures can't attack if their power is less than the number, unless their power is less than the number of cards you have in your hand. But you frequently have 0 cards in your hand, which means that creatures can't attack. And then once they've locked you out, they just mill you with all their Codex Shredders. So it's a very slow and painful death. This deck was very popular like 2 or 3 years ago. So that'll be Renin 6. And there's the Lantern. And then conveniently, Codex Shredder. And then they also play things like Pixis of Pandemonium, which is effectively another Codex Shredder. Pixis, though, is asymmetrical. Or, sorry, it is symmetrical, so they would have to get rid of both at the same time. Bob is a very, very good draw. I think it's going to be hard for them to beat an Ashiok, but it's also going to be hard for them to beat a Bob. And then since they play things like Inquisition and Thoughtseize, I think I should just get the Ashiok down now. So let's just get Stomping Ground, say yes. Kolaghan's Command on top, they're going to have to get rid of that one. Play Ashiok. Which if they Pithing Needle, it still has relevant text. Let's mill them. I don't want them hitting another Lantern. Leyline, you can have that one. So I'm assuming they're going to Pixis in their upkeep, because their top card is bad and our top card is good. Yep. Oh, they're even drawing Thoughtseize. This makes me really happy that I played the Ashiok. Unfortunately, we're probably losing our Kolaghan's Command. If they take the Bob, we can Kolaghan's Command it back. We can also Kolaghan's Command back the Klothys, which might be an even bigger problem for them long run. They're missing lands too. Goyf is large. I think we're pretty ahead here. Like, they need to find an Ensnaring Bridge to stop this Tarmogoyf from attacking. They could, in theory, also be playing things like Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy. But they're short on mana to do it all. And their top card is good, so I think I'll mill them. My top card is bad, so I could mill myself, but I don't want them drawing Stirrings. Pass. Have I hit anything else interesting? I got rid of a bridge. Don't know how many of those they play. I don't remember if they play like a set or they play like 1 or 2. Yeah, James, this deck's really not that fun to play against. To be honest, I think a lot of the not fun comes from people not knowing when to concede. Like, if they've got Lantern out and like 3 bells, like in theory, you could have like 4 cards in a row be really good or help you get out of the lock, but the odds of that happening are astronomically low. So it's usually safe to just concede. Like, as long as the game is still active if they don't have you locked out. Like, as soon as they have you locked out, just scoop. And then it becomes a lot more fun. Because you don't just sit here miserably for half an hour, quite literally. Alright, so a Bauble reveal, Bloodstained Mire. Inquisition's a fine one. Another Inquisition on top. I mean, I guess let's just fire it off. Maybe we add a type for Tarmogoyf. I don't remember what's in their hand or if I even know what it is. So they're going to be able to do Assassin's Trophy next turn. Cling targeting the Klothys. I could cling my Klothys in response so that there's fizzles. I think I will. I'll gain 3 life. Actually, it was a creature, right? So I guess they weren't drawing a card anyway. That was kind of bad. We even took a creature out of the yard. Yeah, so that ultimately wasn't very good of me. I mean, I guess the creature was leaving the yard anyway, and so was enchantment. I mean, they're still just dead. Next turn, they're not drawing this trophy because I'm going to mill them with Ashiok. Spire on top, that's not good for them. Neither is this Inquisition, though. Abrupt Decay on top, they're drawing Leyline. I guess they'll Shredder themselves. Another Lantern isn't going to do it. They probably want to Pixis because Abrupt Decay is good for us. Yeah. Alright, Mountain is not a good one. I'll shuffle that away. And then if we have something good on top... Alright, they're just doing this now too. Oh, they found Bridge. This was the turn they had to find it. That's kind of a bad beat. I mean, we have a lot of things to draw to. And like if we hit a good one, they have to sack the Lantern to make us shuffle. We have 2 looks at it. Alright, Bloodstained Mire isn't a good one. We'll flip it off of the Bob, though. Red and 6 is dead. They've got the Pithing Needle in play still. I mean, we can cling something. But that's not really going to draw us past a Raging Ravine. I guess I'll put another Shuffle effect into play. And I guess I should put a Red and 6 into play at least. It's still Pithing Needled, but if I get rid of Pithing Needle, I will have already spent the mana on it. We're drawing a Revoker, that's fine. Another Pithing Needle, jeez. Sure. So I guess this is like Liliana of the Veil. Yep. So we're not locked out yet, but it's getting close. Another Ashiok on top is nice. They may want to mill that, because then I can just go with the mill plan. They're not going to draw this Pithing Needle, because I can Ashiok them. Another bridge on top. I mean, I think I'm on the mill plan. It's one way to do it. They should have named it with the revoker, I guess. We've gotten rid of one pithing needle. They've got one in play. I don't know that they play 4. Maybe it's time to remind myself what Pyxis of Pandemonium does. Pay 7, tap it. Each player exiles face up all cards they own with exiled with Pyxis, then puts all permanent cards from them onto the battlefield. Okay, well, there goes a Blood Braid. We have another Blood Braid on top. I do have a Cling to Dust, so I can try to draw something at instant speed. What do they need now to get out of this? They're going to need something to name Ashiok. They're going to let me have a Blood Braid. I mean, Blood Braid hits a spell. Like, if they mill me, I can flashback I can escape a Cling to Dust. They let me have it. Okay. Alright, so I know the Thoughtseize on top. That's not very good. Mill you. Redeploy Ashiok. Mill you. Blooming Marsh on top, that's fine. Guess I'll just pass, leaving up Cling to Dust. I mean, I think I'm winning this off of the back of double Ashiok. Welding Jar on top, that's not going to do it. Pyxis, sure. Blooming Marsh on top, that's not going to do it. Yeah, but yeah, James, like, games like this, I don't mind. Like they're close, right? Like, they're still interesting. But, like, if they have the lock already and then it becomes not interesting, then yeah, I agree. It's not fun to play against. Almost 2 hours into this recording and still in round 3. So we've got a Pillage on top. They've only got one activation of a Shredder, too. So if they mill it, or they try to mill it, I can activate Cling. Alright, and they just concede. Sweet. So we beat the Lantern control. 3-0 so far. You know, I hate to say it, but my first league without Seasoned Pyromancer is going pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I think my analysis is still holding up. I think that I just don't think it does. I just think the job that it does well isn't the job that you want a card in Modern to do. Like, it's not a fast clock, it's not a source of card advantage, and it's not disruption. It's a time buyer. And time is not the thing I want to buy. Winning die rolls is good. Having good hands after winning die rolls is also good. I'm ready to see all the Tron lands. Uro. I think I'm gonna take a Uro here. Like, it might not be super intuitive to take the arrow because it's like they kind of want it in the graveyard, but they only get half the value off of getting it into play now, and they don't get to use their Explore effect. If I didn't have second Liliana, I think I would have taken Force of Negation. That was a good draw. That's something to do this turn. So I think I'll shock Stomping Ground and just play that. Yes. Tarmogoyf. I think just like anything to do this turn would have been amazing. And luckily we hit something to do this turn. Misty's gone. Breeding Pool is a new one. So is that Renin 6. Jeez, that Renin 6 was good for them. So I can Liliana plus discard my other Liliana, which will add a type and let me kill the Renin 6. Yeah, because we have creature, sorcery, land. I could discard my Kolaghan's Command. Alright, and adding instant also does it. Alright, so what do they pitch? They pitch the Snap. Alright, so their hand is just lands. And something. Doing this now. Not entirely sure why that's relevant. I mean, I could very well lose to a Field of the Dead. Goyf's hitting for 5 a turn. That's not nothing. I'm going to have to be careful about this Uro in the yard. Hopefully, the Liliana in my hand can deal with it. So I can shock to hold up Lightning Bolt. Don't think it's worth it. They can't really have anything on blue. So I think I'll just discard the Overgrown Tomb. Smack for 5. Yeah, that Goyf was an excellent turn 2 draw. I'd be doing none of this without it. Make sure the art matches real fast. Alright, so Misty I knew about because they got it with the Renin 6. So here comes Uro. Liliana will be able to Edict the Uro, but Goyf will be shrinking. Field of the Dead is a concern here. So this is going to re-add creature. I can Kolaghan's Command to add instant. And then maybe what they discard makes it even bigger. I think I have to race this Field of the Dead, so I think adding an instant right now is probably right. Attack. Put you at an 8. We're 1 off of lethal. If they fetch, we're at lethal. There's a fetch land. I could save the fetch in case I need to revolt a Fatal Push at some point. Stomping Grounds in the yard currently. Alright, well that's something to discard. If they've somehow got Ice Fang, I've got the bolts for it. This Liliana will also hopefully be able to deal with the second Uro if the game comes to that. Well, imagine if I didn't draw this Tarmogoyf. Factor Fiction? I hate how the full art cryptic like just doesn't tell you what the modes are. I mean, if they play a land and get this Field of the Dead going, they can get 2 zombies because of Misty, and then that'll insulate the Uro. So yeah, I could very easily lose from here. It's been a good game though. Like they even have Mystic Sanctuary as an option. Jeez. Alright, so they can double bolt the Tarmogoyf to kill it, so I think I have to split them. I don't think second Uro matters as much. They already have 1. Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't tell you what the modes are. You kind of have to figure it out based off of the dialogue on the side here. Like the dialogue on the side said targeting Goyf return to hand, and if it didn't say another mode, I'm just assuming that it's draw a card. All right, so they're gonna get 2 zombies here. Get back Factor Fiction. I mean, we have an Edict rolled up. Oh, they're just getting rid of the Liliana now, too. Yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean... yeah, I think we're losing this game. The consideration to bolting now is if I draw Bloodbraid, what happens? The thing is they still get a zombie at instant speed, so maybe not a whole lot. Not great. Factor Fiction into Uro. Yeah, so at this point they're going to have effectively infinite zombies. Like I'm drawing the Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, I mean, Maelstrom Pulse is live. But they're going to take out a lot of the relevant card types and really shrink my Goyf. At a minimum, I'm going to have Planeswalker, Land, Instant, Sorcery. I mean, they can't instant speed them either. So I guess, like, Pulse is a live draw for this turn. Unless they're putting another fetch into play with the Uro, and we know they've got one. So yeah, I actually don't think it works. And this game looked good for a while, but now we're pretty behind. All right, well them putting Stomping Ground into play means that Maelstrom Pulse is still live. I mean, it's live to kill the zombies, but then we still can't push through the Uro. This game looks pretty lost. Yeah, I'm just dead. Let's save some time. Temur. think this is a ship. Another land I think I seriously consider it. This hand's great. I'll bottom K command. Turn 1 disruption, a way to deal with Uro, a powerful 2-mana play, and some hate. Can't really wait on this because they could have Veil of Summer on future turns. Well, at least we hit something. Brutality's good. I think I want to use the turn to get the Gwaif down, though. I'll get Overgrown Tomb here to guarantee that I have double black for Ashiok. And if I don't hit it, if I don't hit land this turn, I'll just Brutality to take something. Land, please. Ding. So I think the odds that this Tarmogoyf grows by targeting myself with this are pretty high. Yep. Got a lot of windows open. Field of the Dead, huh? Ooh, Kling's good. Definitely gonna pop this off before they can cast the Factor Fiction. I hope one of the 2 cards that I don't know about is not the Veil of Summer. Cool, and it's not. I mean, they're going to have Wilderness Wreck plus Shark Typhoon to make something big. Don't even think I need to activate the Ashiok. Yeah, I don't think I will. Wilderness Wreck. So they can make a 2/2 if they'd like. Or next turn they can make a 7/7. They probably want to make the 7/7. No, they just want to block. They might have drawn another one. I guess like this is their hand, so we don't know that they have another one. Again, I don't think I need to activate the Ashiok because they could bolt it if I put it to 3. I've already got another mode of Grave Hate if I really need it. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, I guess that's going to unsummon a Tarmogoyf. Yes. So now they're going to get to Castle Vantress. And at this point, I think I want to just draw more action. Not exactly. I'll cycle one of these while I still can. There's more action. Again, I don't want my Ashiok getting bolted if I can avoid it. Unfortunately, their Field of the Dead is going to start making some stupid stuff. I guess they're one away. At a glance, I thought Wilderness Wreck was a land. But yeah, these Cling to Dusts have been pretty impressive. Upkeep Scry? I guess they just want to hit lands. Is this the breeding pool that I know about? No, it's different art. This might be that castle, though. They can unsummon one of them. Tarmogoyf can take care of the Jace after that. I mean, they're at 11, though. They kind of have to unsummon or they're in fear of lethal. They're just going for the Brainstorm. I mean, that's a lot of cards I don't know about. If they have a Cryptic and they can effectively fog here, I can definitely fall behind from there very easily. I guess I top it. Then I'll try to attack their Jace. Alright, that worked. This is like a scry 2 at end step. Counter a spell. Yep. Alright, so now their Field of the Dead is going to start putting in work. Everything's got a unique name. Two on the bottom, though. Alright, Tarn means they're getting 2 zombies now. Yuck. I mean, one of them is kind of under the abyss. If I go for the Cling, they can get Mystic Sanctuary in response. So I can go for the Ashiok. Oh wait, they can't. They couldn't have because I got the Ashiok. Jam. Life is quite large. Action, please. Liliana is action. Then I think I'm just going to plus without playing the land. I mean, I guess if they have a Cryptic, they'll probably just counter this. They could go counter bounce. If they counter bounce, I can replay the Goyf. Alright. So I imagine no Cryptic command. Because they almost definitely would have countered it. And like bounced Tarmogoyf. They bounce a Goyf in response, then it's just like well played by the opponent, you know? I don't expect it though. Maybe like this land just doesn't matter so much that even letting him have the chance to kill it is wrong. If the last card is Bolt, I really don't want to give them the window to kill this because then they can fetch, get another zombie. They go top bottom with it. So there's still kind of a bist to the Tarmogoyf. Like, if they get one zombie, I can edict it. Get in for 6. Scry on upkeep, that's a good sign. Top, bottom. I mean, they scried some number of cards to the top, so I got to imagine something in their hand was good. So, Factor Fiction? So this is casts it targeting Ashiok. So I guess this is just bounce draw. This lets them get one more zombie, which they can search while the Ashiok's gone. Yeah, James, this is it's a difficult matchup. I think we're like 40% overall. I mean, this is what we played against round 1 of the league, and we won. Oh, sure. So this gets back Cryptic. And gets a zombie. Sure. It's not on their hand, though. It's on top. Ashiok can mill it from the top. Ooh, and then Pulse can even take care of the Wilderness Wreck. Alright, so we lead with an Edict. Because they've got Planeswalker in the yard. So it'll keep Goyf large. So they have Cryptic on top, which I would like to mill with Ashiok. I'm going to target myself because they could have Veil of Summer. Although I guess they would have Veiled with the Liliana still going. Goyf stays large. I could just Maelstrom Pulse the Wilderness Wreck, but I think I'm going to want it for something more on the ridiculous side. Yeah, Field of the Dead is quite a card. Like, you would think that, oh, 7 different lands, that's a lot, right? And they all have to have different names, that's a lot. But like, even in Standard, it was busted. Alright, so I'm glad I kept the Pulse, because Field of the Dead... Actually, Field of the Dead doesn't get another zombie, because they still can't search. Alright, they can scry 2 here. But I think they're dead, barring something. Oh, they have a... I was going to say, do they have a Shark Typhoon? Resolve the trigger. Could still lose from here. I mean, I think we've got a decent shot at game 3 as long as we can get there. Top and bottom. Why isn't the Cryptic in their exile? Did they get it back somehow? They musta. Bolt Liliana. Yeah, that's rough. My turn. Ooze is a good one. So I think I'm just going to Tarmogoyf. And I guess cast Scavenging Ooze again. I still don't want to use Ashiok because then a Bolt means that they get to activate Field of Ruin, which gets another zombie. I could hold up, just hold up the Cling to Dust. Do I have 2 creatures in my yard? I have 1, 2. So Goyf is a lethal threat next turn too. So I think for that reason I should play it. The Konpachi says, "What kind of whack format is this? This is modern." Shark Typhoon? Jeez. This is the good side of modern though. This is the interactive matchup. And I mean, I guess like burn and stuff can be interactive too, but this is the interactive matchup that lasts more than 4 turns. All right, there goes Ashiok. So now Field of Ruin can generate another zombie. Tarmogoyf is a 7/8. It's quite large. We're still presenting 2 lethal attackers. That'll let me get Forest, which means I can actually eat something this turn if I really want to. I haven't been to the forest, right? No, okay, good. You get a zombie. A zombab. What this? Why won't you just die? Run in 6? Yeah. That can get Field of Ruin. We'll eat the Field of Ruin. Float some mana, scry 2. I mean, they've got 1 card left. I could just pulse the zombies to go for lethal. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'll make them have something. This castle has scryed like a total of like 10 by now. Top bottom again. Please die when I do this. They conceded. Finally. Don't think I'm changing anything. It may be worth to bring in Alpine Moon just for Field of the Dead. I've done it before. Like Field of the Dead is enough of a problem. Thanks, James. That game was weird. I think I qualify any game that goes more than 6 turns as weird though, because like for modern that's pretty atypical. What do I bring out for 2 Alpine Moons? I think I'll take out other Kolaghan's commands. I just don't want to buy something back often enough, and the other modes aren't really relevant at all. Like, return a creature is going to be the most relevant. You discard a card, not going to do anything. Destroying an artifact, not going to do anything, and 2 damage to a target, not going to kill anything. So I don't really think I want 3 mana, instant speed, return a creature to my hand. You know, Renin 6 doesn't actually kill anything, so maybe I can cut one. How does this look? This looks okay. Submit. Yikers. It's a ship. If I can guarantee a fetch land on top, I'd keep. But I cannot. Better. This is a good 6. Alright, and they don't have Veil of Summer, that's always a plus. Tarmogoyf's a good draw. Wow, their hand is all lands. They kept that? I guess they, on the strength of Field of the Dead. Alright, so I guess I want to dodge Growth Spirals. Alright, so Field of the Dead has been played. Let's get an Overgrown Tomb, play a Tarmogoyf. Maybe I get Stomping Ground here, because then I can get Basic Swamp with this. My life total could matter. So yeah, I'll get Stomping Ground untapped. Play a Tarmogoyf. But yeah, I mean, what does it say that a hand of just 7 lands is keepable? Kind of funny. It's beatable though, which is the idea. There goes Scalding Tarn. Okay, more lands are fine. Maybe the opponent discards something that makes Goyf bigger. I think I'm just going to discard Spellbomb. You drew Remand? Alright, well, at least Goyf grows a little bit. Remand's really, really annoying, though. I'm gonna play a Triome here, I guess. I guess that's the one that cycles, so maybe not. I drew Uro. I've got the Spellbomb for it. They're also just far from actually escaping it. But this Field of the Dead's gonna get online pretty quickly. I'm just gonna turn up the heat here. Let's get Overgrown Tomb now. Make sure we've got a healthy amount of black mana. Alright, my own Renin 6 could be worse. I might just have to go after them. Hit them for 7. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go after them. This run in 6 isn't really doing a whole lot. Like, they already have lands. Ping you. Like, I'm trying to sneak damage under this Field of the Dead, basically. There's a Growth Spiral. Get Field of the Dead on now. That'd be annoying. Okay. It's even a Misty, too, so it's going to make another zombie if they want. I mean, they kept a 7-lander, then drew moderately well, so... Not much I can do, I don't think. I mean, with the exception of turn 3, everything has been pretty scripted so far. Turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Tarmogoyf. And then turn 4, I just like played the Bloodbraid onto an empty board. Alright, Field of the Dead, starting to go off. Didn't have my Alpine Moon. Either of them. They're even going to get Uro into play now too, because they hit double fetch. Yikes. I guess they're still one short. Yeah, they've drawn well. Unfortunate. Ping my run in 6 with your run in 6. Sure. And they're at 8, but Uro is probably going to gain him some life back. I've got Spell Bomb. Now I've really got Spell Bomb. Get the Verdant, because I probably want to get basic Forest to play the other Spell Bomb. So they're adding instant and creature. I'll be adding artifact though. I guess let's see what I draw. I'll get the Forest first, I guess. Not good. So I can Liliana plus discard other Liliana, have a 4/5. They can sack a fetch land and just like make another zombie. Triple block, kill my Goyf. That doesn't seem very good. I think what I'm gonna do is dig for the Alpine Moon. I don't think I can win otherwise. Although I may want to keep this Spell Bomb in play to make sure they're not getting something back with Ren and 6. Yeah, it's not looking good. Possible I should be being more aggressive here to make sure their board stays clear. But I think my best shot is just like finding a Maelstrom Pulse and killing all the zombies in one turn. Now they can Mystic Sanctuary back Archmage's Charm. Second Field of the Dead, because the first one was already too easy to beat. I mean, I think I'm still drawing the Maelstrom Pulse, which means I'm not blocking. Also, it didn't matter if I blocked or not, because they were just going after Ren. Spiral. I mean, if I find Pulse, I can still come back. But it's going to have to be in the top two. Pulse. That's not a Pulse. Pulse. That's not a Pulse. So I'm just dead, right? I take 12. I can Edict them, but they get another zombie. Yeah, I'm just dead. Alright, GG. Alright, well, the Trophy Dream is lost, but the 4-1 Dream is not. I think this is a ship. Much better. I'll just bottom a forest, I guess. Is it red-green? Could be Jund. Probably red-green. Yeah, it's red-green. So I'm going to want to make sure I have access to my basics then. I mean, if they have Blood Moon, it'll be unfortunate. Because I want to be able to play this Renin 6 on turn 2, but I kind of can't if I get basic Swamp. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Blood Crypt and plan on getting basic Forest next turn and just hope they don't have 2 Blood Moons. Well, they've only got 1. Bunch of other good stuff too. They hit the land, lucky. So they get to Utopia Sprawl and pillage me. They don't want to do both? That doesn't make sense to me. Forest probably more important. So if they draw Blood Moon here, I'm gonna want to get basic Forest, I think. Oh, is this? Oh, I guess this is the one that I saw. Oh no, it was a different copy. Their sequencing is just really weird. So this will get Forest. This will get Blood Crypt. So actually having second Blood Crypt kind of incidentally good here. So let's hope they just don't draw hot, I guess. I can use the Cling to kind of negate one of their activations. Alright, well I will not call that drawing soft. They've drawn pretty well. They kept a one-lander. And then just like hit him immediately. Liliana's okay. That'll take care of the Seasoned Pyromancer, but they'll be able to exile it from the graveyard for some value. So I had a recommendation from James. James said that I should be bringing in Pillage versus Ponza. Had never really considered it seriously before, but he brought up a few good points, and I think I'm going to try it out. Okay, you got me. They drew very well. Very, very well. They turned a one-lander into this. Yeah, like that in that spot it would have been very good, I agree. So let's bring in the Pillages. Let's bring in our own Clothis. Let's bring in our Plague Engineers. Kolaghan's command kills nothing. Liliana tends to be weaker versus a bunch of elementals and blood braids. Alright, let's see if we can pillage him out. Not with this one. This one's better. I almost want to bottom the Liliana. Think I will. Turn 1 Inquisition, and if I draw an untapped land, I'll go Goyf. Alright, I'll take their one thing I can take. Untapped land would be great. So I expect the Glorybringer and Chandra to not be able to kill the Tarmogoyf. So I think I'll just take their fastest 2-for-1. You think -4 Liliana Veil, -1 Kolaghan's Command? I could see it. Alright, we drew the land now. Not the most ideal, but still fine. Don't think I'm going to shock to be able to hold up a lightning bolt. Alright, I'm kind of playing like Blood Moon doesn't exist. As far as I know, it doesn't. At least this game. I know it's in the deck. Right, Wooded Foothills is a new one. Did you do the Blood Moon? Pyromancer, okay. Pyromancer I can manage. Just bin 2 lands. And the Chandra. So Chandra gone and a forest gone. There's Pillage. I think I'm going to Pillage them next turn. Because they won't be able to Glorybringer yet. I think I should bolt the Pyromancer to get out of the way. But I mean, if I bolt one, they'll just block with the other. Alright, so this looks like Goyf, hold up Lightning Bolt. Next turn, Pillage you, keep you off of Glorybringer. Come on, cast like Utopia Sprawl or something so I can get the 2 for 1. So end of turn, I'll bolt this thing. Hey, they're doing it! Red. Yep. Do it again. James! James, look! Value. Clothis, yeah. This'll show them. LOL indeed. Pillage. Set him back to the Stone Rain age. Adding enchantment even grows our glyphs. Alright, so they can remove a type, put our glyphs down to 5 apiece. Also puts them out of lethal range. Alright, they're still 6 apiece. They did not remove a type. I guess they couldn't. Play a 4/3. Yeah, that's a chump blocker. If we draw a land, we can just activate this this Raging Ravine too. I guess now I'll get a swamp because Blood Moon's still technically a possibility. That doesn't do anything different. That can name Elemental though, in case Seasoned Pyromancer makes an appearance. I mean, we know that they have Seasoned Pyromancers in their yard. They could make a mana with Clothis, play a land. Actually, they have just Glorybringer. So this will name Elemental. Alright, they've conceded. Sweet. We got a game. Pillage ended up being good. Granted, that Glorybringer wasn't actually going to kill anything, but them having like 1 fewer blocker and not have the ability to kill something else would have been was good. Alright, so you were suggesting -4 Liliana and 1 Kolaghan's Command. So you think we should have the Kolaghan's Command and the Fatal Push? On the draw, I definitely agree with the Fatal Push because I think killing the 1-mana creature is important if that's what they've got going. I like Liliana though. Maybe double black is just too risky is not the word. Maybe hopeful is the word. Maybe double black is too hopeful. +2 Pillage, +2 Plague Engineer, and God. Yeah, I mean that's already how it is. Yeah, those are the 5 that I brought in. I think I'm going to keep a Liliana over a Dark Confidant while we're on the draw. Like, Bob really shines against an opponent that doesn't necessarily put a lot of pressure on quickly. So, like, on the play, maybe it's okay when we can be on the offensive. But if we're on the defensive, which we probably are on the draw, Bob gets much worse. I think I'm bottoming Pulse. I've got Plague Engineer name elementals and stuff. I've got Bolt for the turn 1 thing. If they don't have the turn 1 thing, I've got Thoughtseize. Alright, please no Veil of Summer. That would make me sad. Sweet, they didn't have it. Alright, I'm going to take the Glorybringer. I've got Bolt for their Scavenging Ooze. This hand's beatable. I even have access to a basic forest. Yeah, this hand's pretty beatable from the opponent. I mean, it's like one of those hands where like they can't really mulligan it. I assume here comes Scavenging Ooze. Indeed. Not bad. I'll bolt this now because I don't want them to eat their Glorybringer on the way out. I'd rather have it stay in the yard for my own food. Alright, as far as we know, their hand is bad. So you're telling me there's a chance they play Wooded Foothills? Shock? This is like a Clothis or something? That would be rude. Pillage? That's also quite rude. I'm planning on getting basic forest with this, so I'll just untap to maybe draw another land. Alright, well we know that they can just bolt our ooze, so I should probably lead with the Inquisition. And Bloodbraid is their other. That's brutal. So they're going to get to Bloodbraid here. Ready for the Seasoned Pyromancer off the top? Alright, it's a Stomp. They'd probably just play it as a 4-3. Yeah. Yikes. Kind of think I have to trade with the Bloodbraid here. Don't want to really take 7. That's fine. Alright, I mean, they just drew it. Like, they drew well. Their hand was bad. Yeah, I'm just dead on board. So a pretty unfortunate end to what started off as a really great league. I mean, all in all, though, the deck performed very well. Like, we lost a very good match round 4. And round 5, they just drew insanely hot and they pillaged us. Alright, so I'm going to do a recap. It's very, very late, so I'm going to try to make it quick and not hang around for too long afterwards. It's 2:16 in the morning over here, so I'm starting to get baggy-eyed. Alright, so the Cling to Dust were actually pretty impressive. We never had the Gain Life mode be super relevant, but it always cantripped for a single mana, like worst case scenario. It ate an Uro a couple of times, so I mean, I guess that is the life gain mode, but I guess removing the creature was the more relevant part. So yeah, I'm interested in continuing to practice with Cling to Dust. It did very well. I also like the aspect of if you're ever in a top tick war and you have a Cling to Dust in your graveyard with just a bunch of other crap, you can turn it into card advantage by escaping it and exiling a non-creature. The Renin 6s did pretty well. The Lilianas did pretty well. K-Command honestly looked pretty silly, which is strange considering all of the mid-range running around. So like the mid-range that I saw was the Bant's Valued Town deck with the Soulherder. We saw also 2 Temur decks. So I guess like the 2 Temur decks and the Bant deck are the 2 that I have off the top of my head. And the Kolaghan's Command was kind of a more expensive answer that didn't kill most of the opposing threats. So maybe Kolaghan's Command is falling out of favor just specifically with all of the mid-range stuff that's going around. Because like the mid-range stuff that is going around, none of it is black. And none of it is, I guess, so there's Temur, and there's also Bant, so Temur and Bant. So none of it's black. So black usually has the best way to like kill stuff because they have like Tarmogoyf and like Liliana and stuff like that. But like Bant and Temur, when they kill my stuff, like Temur just has a hard time killing stuff in general because they have to like double bolt a Tarmogoyf, but Bant has Path to Exile. So like against stuff like that, like the creatures that get removed from the battlefield, they either don't get removed from the battlefield, they get outsized by something like an Uro, or they get Path to Exiled. And in either scenario, Kolaghan's Command, it never really buys back a creature. So the other modes tend to be what I've found myself using more. But against stuff like Uro, discarding a card really doesn't do a whole lot because like they're drawing so many cards anyway. They don't play any artifacts, and 2 damage kills hardly anything. So maybe I go down to 1 Kolaghan's Command in favor of something else. Liliana looked fine. I actually just answered someone's question in a comment on a video that they left earlier today, asking why Liliana is so good and like why some people like 4 but some people like fewer. Liliana is becoming a card that maybe I don't want to see as often as I have been seeing it. So maybe it is possible I can start trimming 1 or even 2 of those. But Liliana is still just the best card in a lot of matchups and usually fine most other places. The Scavenging Oozes performed insanely well. I think I was crazy to even ponder the idea that taking him out was a good thing to do. I had taken him out when I was playing Seasoned Pyromancer, but since I don't like Seasoned Pyromancer, Ooze has plenty of room to fit right back in, and I think they're welcome back. The Ooze was extremely strong, and I think like 4 of our 5 matches this league. What do I have to say about the Terminate and the Abrupt Decay? So there was never anything. So when I had the Terminate, there was never anything that I saw that I wish I had a trophy or a decay over the Terminate for. Terminate hit everything that I needed it to when I had the Terminate. Same with the Abrupt Decay, never had really any issues with that. The 6 mana hand disruptions, the 6 1 mana hand disruption spells still felt pretty fine. The 6 mana 1 mana removal spells still felt pretty fine. I mean, and that kind of encompasses the entire main deck. I guess I will note again that I actually forgot to take out second Blood Crypt in favor of second Overgrown Tomb. I had switched over to second Blood Crypt when I was playing the Seasoned Pyromancers because of the extra commitment to red. Let me go ahead and just change that now so I don't forget. Overgrown Tomb, where are ya? Right there. Add 1. Alright, so that's fixed now. Yeah, so I feel like that's pretty much the summary for the main deck. I guess the one thing I haven't talked about is the Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant tends to be better in a more mid-rangey combo meta. We were in a more mid-rangey meta now, not so much combo, but the mid-range decks that exist right now, with the exception of the Uro piles, do a really good job of pressuring your life total quickly, namely red-green control, not red-green control, red-green mid-range. And against a deck that really pressures your life total, Bob gets much, much worse because you just don't have the time to really sit there and accumulate advantage. Against stuff like Uro, where they're not attacking you super quickly because like their main mode of attack is stuff like Shark Typhoon now, Uro, sometimes Ice Fang Quaddle, you really do have the time to get those 4 or 5 cards that can turn the tide and keep you level in terms of amount of resources that you have access to when the opponents are drawing multiple cards or multiple cards with Ice Fang, stuff like that, Cryptic Command even. So moving to my thoughts on the sideboard. The brutalities performed well as they usually do, coming in versus stuff like Uro. Not coming in versus stuff like red-green, but I still think they're really important if I ever run into burn or prowess decks. The Plague Engineers did very well. The Ashiok did very, very well. Klothys has been impressive. There may be a chance I experiment with 2 just so I can see it more often and really get a feel for it. But the one that I've had, every time I've drawn it, it's been very, very good. Pillage was very good this league. It killed lands and artifacts alike. And every time I cast a Pillage, I pretty much won the game the turn immediately after. We played against multiple Field of the Dead decks, and for that reason, I think Alpine Moon deserves a spot. Didn't see any Tron this league, but it would have been good there too. And then we played against lots and lots of Uro, so the Nile Spellbombs came in clutch multiple times. So overall, I don't think I have anything negative to say about this sideboard, at least as much as it applies to the league that we just played. Because in the league that we just played, we brought in like 7 or 8 cards pretty much every single game, and they were all good every single time I brought them in. Obviously, I didn't bring in 7 or 8 in that last round. I brought in just 5. But the 5 that I brought in handled really well and provided a meaningful impact. So I really like how the sideboard performed. And overall, I'm really happy with the deck in total. I feel like this league went really, really well. On top of being fun and interactive, we won our first 3 matches, which is always a good momentum grabber. And then match 4 that we lost, it was a good match. We lost in game 3. So we got the full value time-wise. And every decision seemed to matter. So I'm interested in even going back myself and rewatching that match and seeing if there's something I could have done better. But yeah, the match that we lost in round 4 was just like a good match. And then in round 5, we had a fairly competitive match. Obviously, the opponent kind of did get pretty lucky. In the first game, they kept a 1-lander and then immediately hit land and kind of crushed us because they kept a very greedy hand and then got rewarded. And then kind of the same in game 3. We Inquisitioned them, took their only 1 mana play. They didn't have a 2, they didn't have a 3. They just had a 4 and a 5. And actually, I think it's a Glorybringer, and I bolted their 1 mana play, right? So they didn't have anything to do until turns 4 or 5, but they drew a 3-drop, they drew a 4-drop, and they kind of just crushed me. So match 4 that we lost, it was still a great match. And then match 5, the opponent just kind of got probably a little luckier than they deserved. But who am I to say? I think it was a great league overall. I had a pretty good time with it. Really, really like this list. I think the next time I play Jund, I'll probably play this list again, probably identically, and then see if we can get some different matchups to see how it handles versus Mono Red Prowess, for example. We kind of did get more of the mid-range decks. We didn't get any Eldrazi Tron in the mid-range category, but maybe we fight Stoneblade, Prowess, or Burn next. Who knows? So yeah, interested to play this list again. Really satisfied with it. And I guess tomorrow or the day after, I'll film another league, upload it, and everyone will be able to see how it goes. So that's going to be it for this video. I gotta probably head off to bed really, really soon after this, after I get the upload going. If you like content like this, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more. If you'd like to catch my recording sessions live, I stream them on Twitch at Junderdome. That's Junderdome. Kind of a little spoof on Thunderdome, right? So Junderdome, again, Jund, just how it's normally spelled, Erdome, Junderdome. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Have a good night, blah, 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 blah. Like, subscribe, YouTuber stuff, blah, 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 blah. Until next time, have a good one. See ya.